Okay, so I have made my tunnel for my paper clip. Now, I actually made that stitching a little past my 1/4 mark on my machine. It's actually the edge of the fabric was on top of the 1 on the 1/4. Because again, I just want to give a little bit more room to slip that paper clip in. So now that we have that, we're going to take our paper clip and we're literally going to go through our, actually you don't have to go through that, your ends are open. You're going to go through, I'm used to the elastic ones, and you're going to just slide it into your little tunnel there. So now it's in there. So now what I'm going to go do is stitch here and here so that it can't slip out. Okay, so I closed in on each end, there and there, and on this one, there and there. I apologize, it's very blue today. I'm using lots of blue fabric. This is what the back of a completed mask with a white back, it looks like. So that's what we just did. Okay, now we're ready to pleat. Pleating, and this is some new information. So what I have discovered is that, and I wasn't really paying attention to this very well when I was originally making my masks, is that how much you taper actually matters, and it needs to be consistent. So how I came up with my measurements for my tapers is that I made a mask for my husband, and his was sort of gaping under his chin. So I just kind of kept taking it in and retucking it and unstitching it and then re-stitching it. And we sort of came up with that his taper from a 7x9 ended up going to 2 1/4. And so from that gauge, I then did the same thing for all the other sizes. As of now, that seems to work well. The tapering seems to work for most people. Again, this is approximate. So if you're making your own mask, you can play around with it and make the pleats however you want. I just needed to kind of create a formula for what I'm doing, and this is my formula. So I'm going to take this, which is a 6x9, so this is 6 inches, and I am going to pleat it, and we want the pleats going down. And we know the top because we have our nose wire now. So I always start out at the top. I don't know why, it's just the way I do it. Then I'm gonna take some from the bottom. I do my top pleat, then my bottom pleat, and then I go in with whatever's left and create the middle pleat. Okay, let's see how I did. So I said that this one needed to be tapered to 2 inches. I've been making these for a while. This is 2 inches. This one is not. This is a little bigger. This is about 1 inch or 2 inches and 1/8, which, you know, that might make a difference. So we're gonna just make it a smidgen smaller. Now, measure it again. Okay, so now, this is another part. So now that I have my pleats, still want to futz with that, make sure it looks good. 2 inches, 2 inches, great. So, I have my 2 inches. I'm now going to distribute the pleats, or the tucks, evenly in the center of the mask, and I'm gonna iron the heck out of that end. And now I'm flipping it, as you can see, and I'm gonna iron the end out of this. I always use steam, if you've noticed. All right, now this is the crucial part. This side looks nice and even. This side, as you see, we got a little jumbly mess, so I've got to fix that really quick. So my measurement of how long it's supposed to be is correct. I just need to distribute it evenly in the back so that it lays neatly on the face. Now this might be the part, there were a few of you out there that were asking why you were having this weird sort of thing happening on the side of your masks. I think this may be the reason why, because if you don't make sure that your pleats are even on the back just as much as they are on the front, then you're gonna have issues. So, I'm just checking again, 2 inches, and has grown a little, so I'm just gonna fix it really quick. 2 inches. All right, that looks pretty good. So, as you can see, there's that, and there's that. They look pretty good. All right, now, I'm ready to go. Oh, I'm not gonna do anything yet because I have to get my ties ready. I was getting ready to do the other thing for the elastic. So we're gonna get our ties ready. So you need, and hopefully you've already pre-cut this. Which mask am I doing? Here we go. All right, so you need 2 strips for your ties. Now, again, there seems to be a little bit of debate on the length of the ties. I like 38 because then I'm assured that I have 20 for the top and then the rest goes down for the little bit that's gonna go on the mask and then around the neck or the lower part of the head. 38 seems to be my magic number. Some people cut 40, that's fine. You're just making it longer, go for it. The other thing that I have discovered, so if you were looking at my original pattern that I had on my Facebook page, I was saying that initially your strips needed to be 3 inches wide. They don't really need to be 3 inches wide. They can be anywhere from 2 to 3 inches wide. It just depends on how crafty you are with folding your strips to go over the edges of your fabric, of your mask. I'm really trying to be frugal with my fancy fabric. So these are actually 2 1/4 wide. I've found that 2 1/2 is actually pretty good. But then again, I also made some that were 2 inches wide, but I got them on there. They're really thin. In fact, these were 2 inches wide. And I got it on there fine. So it just kind of depends on how well you feel like you can stitch the strap on over the edges of your mask. All right, so now we're ready to create our straps. Now, again, on the tutorial that is on my Facebook page, I have you folding the fabric in half all the way down so you have a center seam. Then I suggest that you then take your edges and make them meet in the center, like so, right? And then before you do that all the way down, you want to turn the edge in and iron it. Now, I have been sewing a really long time. I don't need to do all of that folding and ironing first. I'm able to just turn my edge in and then kind of create my strip as I'm going along. I'm just, with one hand, I'm kind of making sure that they're meeting in the center and then just steaming it. I also have really tough hands. My hands can deal with the steam and the heat of the iron. So, you know, do what you feel comfortable doing, obviously. Okay, now I'm just going to take the other end before I close it and iron that down. The reason why we're doing our ends like that is so that way we're encasing the raw edge and we're going to catch it all at the same time. All right, so now I have one strap ready. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other straps really quickly.